Hey everybody, how are y'all doing this week? We are trying a new time. Y'all said that 7 was a little bit too early and then 7:30 was a little bit too early, but we're going to try 8 o'clock. I'm just letting you know though that we are old and we are usually in our PJs and we are not even putting together sentences. Huh? Uh, we're not even putting together sentences. And Chris just said you can probably see his PJ pants anyway. So we both have on PJ pants. So who cares? But anyway, we wanted to hop on here. I don't know. Sometimes we wonder why y'all still want to talk to us on Thursday nights, but we love the fact that y'all do. I think it's because maybe we make y'all feel a little bit normal because we're not normal. What do you think? I don't think we're normal at all. But I asked, as I always do, on our Instagram stories, what y'all wanted to talk about. And one of the things that kept popping up was this is actually kind of funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. How do we handle our in laws? I was about to say if my mom is on here, which she probably hasn't figured out how to do the live just yet. So. And his parents, they're not on
they
here
don't even
either.
know how to turn on a computer.
But we're not going to throw anybody under the bus tonight. But we know that this is like a hot topic for a lot of people, a hot topic for a lot of couples, and it's hard. So anyway, how do we handle and deal with our in-laws? I have to be honest, we've got pretty good in-laws.
Yes.
We really can't relate to the in-law part of it, but we can relate to just the people part of it. Um, you know, I mean, Other people in our lives, other family members in our lives, or whatever. I know that a lot of people's in laws are very pushy. I know that, some of them don't mean to be, but they are. But I think all of us have people in our lives like that. And it's hard to maneuver around sometimes. But honestly, we can't relate with the in-law part of it, but we can relate with other people. And I say, we kind of talked about this before, and we talked about this last week too. You just have to stay grounded in your beliefs, and you have to, you got to be a united front, no matter what. Wouldn't you say?
Yes.
I feel like I'm doing all the talking.
You are. Go ahead.
Do you have anything to say about this? Seriously, that it has caused fights in our marriage.
Oh yeah, but that's probably everybody. But
it's normal.
well, even there, neither side is the kind of in-law that would. They don't pry into our lives. Never have.
But other people have pride.
Oh yeah.
And other people have pride, and it has caused friction between him and I at times. And
oh yeah.
I think the way that we have finally figured out how to deal with it, though, is to, to respect the other person and respect each other of how the other person feels about that person, whoever that person is, whether it's your in-laws or whether it's, a friend but I do have to say, you kind of, after a certain amount of years being together, you do kind of morph together a little bit, and you figure out what works best for your family. And that's the biggest thing,
You have to. Especially when you got kids, you learn to just say no.
Yeah.
To things that used to try to please everyone and do this, that. When you get 1, 2, or 3, I mean, even
or
with
four,
one kid,
five.
however many you got, we
yeah.
got 3. But I mean, there's times when you have to say, no, we're not doing that. We just can't.
Right.
It's not going to happen. You know, we have boundaries we have to stay
Yeah.
within, and those boundaries include our children. And you have to just sometimes make someone aggravated about it so they can get over it. But, you know, until they have walked in our shoes
That's right.
or your shoes or how you do things,
they don't really have a say.
No, I mean, we're just doing the best we can, just like anybody else. And you're always going to have somebody that doesn't like you and doesn't like the way you do whatever you do. It doesn't matter if the way you do your hair, the way you do this, the way you dress, the way you talk to someone. Everybody's not going to be pleased, so it's not a big deal to me. It never has been. And Mandy's seen that since the beginning we met. I really don't care.
About saying the word no, that's for sure. I mean,
I'm not going to tell somebody I'm going to do something when in my back of my mind knowing there's no way in the world I can do this. So when I know, I'm going to say, no, I can't. Or, no, I'm not going to. No, I'm not doing it. You know, and people get turned off by that. But you know what?
If it works for you.
So be it, because people who are really are your close,
your tribe and your people,
friends, family,
they're gonna get it.
The ones who understand, it don't bother them,
right?
Because most times the ones that doesn't bother have the same issues. So you just gotta be you. You just gotta be who you are. Yeah. Whether it's with the in-laws, whether it's with friends, family, brothers, sisters, you just got to be you. You can't conform. If you start conforming right off the bat, you'll think you got to do that forever.
And
it's not
frustrating.
It's not. I would have too many headaches from stress because I wouldn't remember what I told somebody else I was going to do. You can't. I can't do that. I mean,
and that's what works for us. I mean, like we said, the in-laws are not the problem with us, but we do have, there's always going to be people like that in your life that are going to test your boundaries too. And Chris and I are very good about having boundaries, and his boundaries sometimes are a little bit different than mine too. I feel a little bit more convicted with certain boundaries than he does, and it just depends on the day. But, for the most part, it's just, coming together, respecting each other's boundaries, respecting each other's, saying the word no. Used to at the beginning of our marriage, I didn't know how to say the word no. He knew very well how to say the word no. And, sometimes I'd get mad at him because I was like, God, you say no to everything, to everybody. But he's like, it's not to everybody. It's just to the people that I know that I can't do anything for. And, and we say a lot of no's. We still say a lot of no's. Our kids are a little bit older. They're 8. Our twins are 8. And then our little girl is 11. And, they are a little bit older, but we still say no to things. We still tell people that we can't do certain things just because it doesn't fit into our, family dynamic. And I think once me and him, both of us started realizing that, we've got to take care of ourselves first and our children first. If those other people were mad for us saying no or for having boundaries up, that was more their issue than ours. So,
pretty much.
Yeah. And, it is what I hate it whenever my mom says that. It is what it is, but it is. You just have to do what's best for you and for your family. So whether it is your in-laws that are pushy and step over those boundaries, or whether it's other family members or friends or whatever, and we understand too that if they're your in-laws or your family, you can't necessarily just get rid of them. You can't just walk away. But, you really have to, and I think over the years too, I think Chris and I have realized who our true tribe is, the people that are going to be the truest to us and that are going to go behind closed doors and pray for us, and they're going to be the ones that are our biggest cheerleaders too. So once we figured that out, that helped a lot too, I think. And it was easier to not feel guilty whenever we said no to those pushy people, or did what was best for us. You can't let the guilt get to you.
Yeah. In the long run, you'll be remembered more because you stood up and said no to things than you would if you just said yes to everything all your life. Because people will understand, they've got discipline with certain things, or they've got structure with certain things. And believe it or not, somebody may come back later on needing you to help them in the situation where they don't understand how to say no about something.
Right.
And you might could just help them, but it's not, no, everybody's not going to be like this. I mean, and I know that there is times when we've had to say yes to something just to get through something,
right.
And that's a whole different issue. But the majority of the time, if it's something that somebody's wanting, asking, can we do, asking, you know what, if I know that it ain't going to happen, I'm not going to say yes and then back out.
Right.
I'm just going to tell them no. I mean,
you just gotta,
can't do this.
Yeah.
We won't make it. We've got our own lives, and we've got to look out for us and the kids, and we've got to, that sets guidelines for your kids too, especially ours, so they won't be worried about saying no to things that they know they
right.
shouldn't do later on in life, that they may get peer pressured into trying to do something later, because it's going to happen to every
right.
kid, every teenager, everybody. So hoping that they don't see us saying yeah to this, and we say no to things,
hoping that forms a foundation.
Yeah, it makes them understand that it's okay to refuse or say, right. I can't, so
no. They hear us say no
yeah,
a lot. We say no a lot to them too.
I mean, but that's one way to put a spin on it, to look at it and say, this could be something that can help, and I think it can.
Right.
It may not be for everybody, and that's understandable too. I don't mean you're wrong. It just means the dynamic of your life and your family is different. And
right.
everybody's different. If
right.
we were all the same, why would you be on here looking at us and watching us talk right now? I mean,
right.
for real? Okay.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. You just have to, we're laying the foundation by us setting boundaries, and by us saying no, and by us telling those pushy people, hey, back off a little bit. There's nothing wrong with that. That's just saying, we value our relationship, we value our family more than anything, and that's what God wants us to do. It's God, then family, and then everything else falls in line. So it's just you really have to think about it like that. So hopefully that helped. Like I said, we hopefully that helped you feel normal.
If it didn't help, maybe you laugh, so that's good too.
I mean, that's good too. Laughing at us is a good thing. I tell people all the time. That's why I started this Instagram, started a blog, because I have to have somebody else that laughs at us, because we laugh at ourselves every day. But y'all asked some really good questions. And we may touch on these next week or the following week, how is time spent on social media? How does it affect the time that you have together? We're not getting into that.
We ain't got enough time.
We ain't got enough time for all that. So
and it's Valentine's Day tomorrow, so nobody wants to be mad anymore, do they?
No. Social media is huge, because it's huge in everybody's spectrum, but that's also...
Look at all these people that's looking at us. You're taking away time from somebody.
Stop. Well, we want them to be here.
It's
funny.
We
we have this is our job too. This is work for me. So it is kind of, but we're not going to get into that. I said that we weren't,
you
right?
Keep trying to go.
Anyway, I know. Also, y'all asked about budgeting.
Ooh, that's bad.
That may come at a very later date because we may still be fighting about that tomorrow. Yeah.
I don't know if it's. I don't know.
Just don't get into it.
I can't start.
Just don't get into it today. So, those are some things that you can look forward to in the future. We'll talk about. We're pretty open. Y'all know that. We're probably a little bit too honest at times. So we may have to rethink the budget one because we may be a little bit too honest.
We can't do that. I mean, people will be like, why?
So anyway, I hope that helped. We both We both hope it's past our bedtime. I'm just telling you. 8:00 is.
Hope you enjoyed us rambling.
Yes, about
in-laws and just life.
Yeah, and Mama, if you're seeing this at any other social media outlet, I love you. I didn't mean that about Instagram. But we do need to talk about Instagram, and
it's all good. I don't know nothing about it either.
And we need to get you a little a little lesson there. But yeah, so I meant nothing by it. She probably shut it off after then. So oh well. But anyway, thanks y'all for being here. We are gonna try another time next week on Thursday night because I don't think a lot of y'all showed up at 8:00 like y'all told us that you would. So and this is really late for us, so we will find another time. She said, I'm here, Linda, if you need to talk. Remember, she stole your cookies. Okay, we gotta go now because Linda is my mom and she's telling on me. So all right, thank y'all so much, and we will see you next week.
Later. Make sure you save it. And now, you went back live. What the heck, woman?